I'm going to tell you guys exactly how we grew a 100,000 member Roblox group in this video, and I'm going to give you guys tips on how you can do the same thing and get tons more members in your Roblox group and tons more players in your games and build a stronger community. So the first tip is that you need to make an interesting game which people will join your group from. So for us, we made meme games, so we made some very interesting games. The first one we made was called Sussy Imposter Land, which this game has 6.6 million visits, and we made it just 11 months ago. So as you can see, this is a rather popular game. Not the most popular, but it gets us a lot of members. If we look at Rollimon, we can actually see that the group is gaining around 100 members a day. It used to be gaining more when we were advertising more, but we've taken a break from that because of other reasons I'm going to explain later in this video. But when you have games on your Roblox group, you will get way more members than using ads. And it won't cost you as much because if you can get players on your game without ads, it will get you free group members 24/7 if you give players perks in game for joining your group. Alright, so the second tip is to have a great logo that's bright and colorful and fits your group. I just uploaded a really good video on how to make a logo the other day, and I highly recommend you watch that video after this one. It's going to be so helpful in getting you a ton of members. But a great logo really shows players a first impression of your group, and it's really important to make this good because it needs to catch their attention. So third, we made sure to have a great group description that not only gets players to join, whether with an interesting storyline or catchy punchline, but it also gets them to stay because we list out the best things people can do in the group, and we also made sure to tell people that they can support the group by buying things and inviting their friends. So as you can see, we have a little backstory on the group. You know, the owner of the group, he's trying to take over Roblox with his games. So that's basically our backstory for our group, and it gets players interested because there's a story to the group, and that's actually something that you don't see very often on Roblox, and it makes a lot of sense. So I'm honestly surprised that more people aren't doing this because it gives the group a lore and a backstory that really just adds so much more depth. His brother Benny has created his own group and stole his game format and started to make his own games, and he's trying to defeat Jimmy Games. So pretty interesting to see how this will pan out. Having this happening in our group makes people more interested because it gives a lot of life and personality that would not otherwise be there because there's this war between the two groups. And it's really interesting because you don't usually see this done so well on Roblox. Even in army groups, they really don't do this kind of thing. All right, next, so the fifth tip you guys need to keep in mind is that, well, you might notice that this group is kind of weird. Everything about it is just kind of weird. Like, it's not normal. It's very unique, and that's actually a good thing. So it's important that you don't worry about being too professional, because being yourself and just having fun and making something that's unique will get you a lot more players and members than just trying to act like a company or just trying to fit in with all the other groups and developers on Roblox. Just remember that most players are just looking to have fun, so if your group looks fun, people are more likely to join and stay active. And it's also a good thing to be unique because it'll help your group get noticed. It might get more hate, but that's actually a good thing because that's just more attention for your group. And we've really actually leveraged the hate in our group to bring it to such a high point. You know, players will stand up for the group when there's hate on the group wall, and it makes it a stronger community. Now, I will recognize that a lot of Roblox developers, mainly larger ones, make this mistake, and I don't blame them because they are usually real companies, but I believe everyone can do this in some way, and they need to make sure that they're relating with the players on Roblox and not just trying to look corporate or fit in. So next, it's great to have roles that your group members can work for or even volunteer for. Building a team of passionate community members who help manage your group and keep it active is actually easy because once your group gets some attention, you'll have a lot of people dying to help you with your group. They'll bring up a lot of ideas that you wouldn't have thought of yourself, and a lot of help keeping members active and just adding more excitement to the group. Making these roles gives players a reason to be more active in your group and stay longer because they'll be striving for a goal in your group by staying active and always just, you know, talking on the group wall, playing your game, and they're going to be trying to get the role, which, you know, having goals and accomplishments that are easily seen in the group or in your game are very important because it is a good way to motivate players to try and be more active in your group and play more of your game. And adding on to this, it is important to honor top players' accomplishments with a special role in your group. It'll be pretty special to them to be honored by the creators of the game, making them, again, more active in your group. Also, people often think that having training and roles that people work for are only for army groups and role roleplay groups, but really any group can make use of this. And I'm actually surprised that a lot of groups don't do this because it adds an extra layer to your community where rather than just chatting and playing the games, there's a little bit more to it that just makes it a little bit more fun and interesting. All right, so the 8th tip I have is to host events often and group shout a lot. It is a great idea to host events in your Roblox group because it gets the community active and excited to participate in your group. You can host parties, interviews with random members where they can meet the owners, and you can also do trainings and interview sessions. These are just a start to the huge amount of events you can host, and these are fun to run too because organizing these little events, it's a cool way to talk to your players and add more things to do in your group. All right, so the 9th tip is to update your games frequently and use your community's feedback heavily. Updating your games keeps players coming back and keeps the game feeling fresh. An update doesn't have to add much as long as there's new content to explore or new items to use in game. Players will always appreciate an update, and even a small update will have a lot of players come back who might have quit or forgot about your game. And you should also let your community know that their voices are heard and that you will listen to their suggestions because they'll be more likely to give you ideas for your games. And I can't stress enough that you need to put this in your description somewhere, broadcast it in some way that you want people to give you suggestions. It could be a GUI in your game. It could be even just a group shout every once in a while that asks for ideas. You don't have to use everyone's idea, but sometimes you'll get an idea that'll be amazing and a great idea for an update. And this way, in theory, you'll never run out of ideas to add to your game, and it'll keep players interested in talking on your group and being active. Even though our group has over 100,000 members, we always listen to community feedback, and we read every single group wall post that comes onto the group. And we even use people's ideas in the game all the time, and we even make items based on prominent people in our group. All right, so partner with other groups and network with other developers. Partnering with other groups and setting them as an ally will help you both. It's a lot of fun to work with others and learn from them, and you can host events with each other's group and promote each other's stuff, which will give you both more members. You can also have a lot of fun doing this, and you'll learn new things from other people, boosting both of your guys' success. Now, you want to make sure that the groups and developers you are affiliating with work on similar things as you. Like, you wouldn't want to affiliate an army group with a clothing group because that just wouldn't really make that much sense. But networking with other groups and developers will also encourage them to get engaged with your project, and you may even get some help from them if you become friends. And you can also work together on new projects and get development help to help you make projects that you could have never made before on your own. Now, I can't stress enough that a group logo is extremely important to get more members, and this is one of the most important tips before everything else because it's first thing people see when they join your group. So I highly recommend that you watch the video that's on screen right now to learn how to make an amazing eye-catching group logo step by step. See you guys there.